Hi everyone, welcome back to Chapter Chat with Tita Week 6, and this is Start with Hello Week. As you see, we are revisiting Wonder, which is a perfect book for starting with hello. Start with Hello Week is really just about inclusion and being kind and starting with a simple hello when you see someone in the hallway or at lunch. I love the quote from the book Wonder. When given the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind. I really would love that quote to resonate with you for the rest of this week. And we are picking up in this book in a lunchtime scene, and it's right after Augie has learned that quote from class. So as we read, I want you to kind of just put yourself in the shoes. Even though this is set in middle school, I want you to think about, what you see at lunch and on the daily and what you can do to start with hello. Lunch. Via has warned me about lunch in middle school, so I guess I should have known it would be hard. I just hadn't expected it to be this hard. Basically, all the kids from all 5th grade classes poured into the cafeteria at the same time, talking loudly, bumping into one another while they ran to different tables. One of the lunchroom teachers said something about no saving seats allowed. But I didn't know what she meant, and maybe no one else did either, because just about everybody was saving seats for their friends. I tried to sit down at one table, but the kid in the chair said, "Oh, sorry, but somebody else is sitting here." So I moved to an empty table and just waited for everyone to finish stampeding and the lunchroom teacher to tell us what to do next. As she started telling us the cafeteria rules, I looked around to see where Jack Will was sitting, but I didn't see him on my side of the room. Kids were still coming in as the teacher started calling the first few tables to get their trays and stand in line at the counter. Julian, Henry, and Miles were sitting at the table toward the back of the room. Mom had packed me a cheese sandwich, graham crackers, and a juice box, so I didn't need to stand in line when my table was called. Instead, I just concentrated on opening my backpack, pulling out my lunch bag, and slowly opening the aluminum foil wrapping of my sandwich. I could tell I was being stared at without even looking up. I knew that people were nudging each other and watching me out of the corners of their eyes. I thought I was used to those kinds of stares by now, but I guess I wasn't. There was one table of girls that I knew were whispering about me because they were talking behind their hands. Their eyes and their whispers kept bouncing over to me. I hate the way I eat. I know how weird it looks. I had surgery to fix my cleft palate when I was a baby, and then a second cleft surgery when I was 4, but I still have a hole in the roof of my mouth. And even though I had jaw alignment surgery a few years ago, I have to chew food in the front of my mouth. I didn't even realize how this looked until I was at a birthday party once, and one of the kids told the mom of the birthday boy he didn't want to sit next to me because I was too messy with all the food crumbs shooting out of my mouth. I know the kid wasn't trying to be mean, but he got into big trouble later, and his mom called my mom that night to apologize. When I got home from the party, I went to the bathroom mirror and started eating a saltine cracker to see what I looked like when I was chewing. The kid was right. I eat like a tortoise. If you've ever seen a tortoise eating, like some prehistoric swamp thing. The summer table. "Hey, is the seat taken?" I looked up, and a girl I had never saw before was standing across the table with a lunch tray full of food. She had long, wavy brown hair and wore a brown shirt with a purple peace sign on it. No, I said. She put her lunch tray on the table, plopped her backpack on the floor, and sat down across from me. She started to eat her mac and cheese on her plate. "Ugh," she said after swallowing the first bite. "I should have brought a sandwich like you did." "Yeah," I said, nodding. "My name is Summer, by the way. What's yours?" "August." "Cool," she said. "Summer?" Another girl came over from the table carrying a tray. "Why are you sitting here? Come back to the table." It was too crowded, Summer answered. Come sit here. There's more room. The other girl looked confused for a second. I realized she had been one of the girls I had caught looking at me just a few minutes earlier, hand cupped over her mouth, whispering. I guess Summer had been one of the girls at that table, too. Never mind, said the girl, leaving. Summer looked at me, shrugged, smiled, and took another bite of her mac and cheese. Hey, our names kind of match, she said as she chewed. I guess she could tell I didn't know what she meant. Summer? August? She said, smiling, her eyes open wide as she waited for me to get it. Oh, yeah, I said after a second. We can make this the summer-only lunch table, she said. Only kids with summer names can sit here. Let's see, is there someone here named June or July? There's a Maya, I said. Technically, May is spring, Summer answered, but if she wanted to sit here, we could make an exception. She said it as if she'd actually thought the whole thing through. There's Julian. That's like the name Julia, which comes from July. I didn't say anything. There's a kid named Reed in my English class, I said. Yeah, I know Reed. But how is Reed a summer name, she asked. I don't know. I shrugged. I just pictured like a reed of grass being a summer thing. Yeah, okay, she nodded, pulling out her notebook. And Miss Pestosa could sit here too. That kind of sounds like the word petal, which I think of a summer thing too. I have her for homeroom, I said. I have her for math, she answered, making a face. She started writing the names on the second... She started writing the list of names on the second to last page of her notebook. So who else, she said. By the end of lunch, we had come up with a whole list of names of kids and teachers who could sit at our table if they wanted. Most of the names weren't actually summer names, but they were names that had some kind of connection to summer. I even found a way of making Jack Will's name work by pointing out that you could turn his name into a sentence about summer, like Jack will go to the beach, and Summer agreed that would work fine. But if someone doesn't have a summer name and wants to sit with us, she said seriously, we'll still let them if they're nice, okay? Okay, I nodded, even if it's a winter name. Cool beans, she answered, giving me a thumbs up. Summer looked like her name. She had a tan and her eyes were green like a leaf. So we'll stop there. So isn't that like a beautiful scene? Here's Augie, who we know is struggling with people talking about him, the way he looks. And honestly, this could just relate to a new student or someone who's shy and quiet. And when someone just comes up and talks to them, makes simple conversation, kind of makes jokes and just puts a smile on their face. Sometimes it just starts with a hello. So keep that in mind. And I know we're doing lots of lunch activities this week. Walk around, talk to people, start with hello. So I know sometimes it takes risks and vulnerability to do these things, but you won't regret it. And neither will the person that you made smile. Have a great week, everybody. And thank you again for participating in Start with Hello Week.